With like a little cherry in the top. Let's roll back a little bit. Wait, what was I doing? Oh, that's right, morning routine. It's 8 a.m. and my body is resistant to wake up, but I'm just going to fight through it. I am updating my model in digitals today, so I really need to get my skin refreshed and glowy. No makeup allowed, so we are going to be all natural mode today. Wish me luck. And I was really craving coffee at that moment because I'm trying to decrease caffeine intake, but it's such a struggle. So, first I'm washing my face with hydrating cleanser from Freelance. Next up is Herb Mineral Moisture Spray from DMK. I apply it all over my face and neck, and don't forget to close my eyes because it's a little pinchy. After I use Seba E Hydrating Oil, also from DMK, and just a few drops, warm it up between my palms and just kind of gently press it into my skin. Under eye area, I apply DMK Eye Tone Lotion, which I'm running out of, so I need to get a new one. And just a little tiny thing like that, gently tap it around eye area. It also helps to reduce puffiness and dark spots. Finally, DMK Hydrating Cream. I really like the texture of this cream. It's very light and nourishing and just perfect for my dry skin type. And last but not least is the Soothing Moisture Gel that works as a fixator of all the products I put on my skin. I apply it on my neck and face, and it works perfect as a makeup base.
Soon after.
I got mascara. I got mascara. And it's alright.
Amazing. Thank you so much. This is the studio that we will be shooting at with Christina today, and I found it on PureSpace, which is a platform where you can find and rent a space for your event or project or celebration, whatever it is you need the space for. And this studio was listed there. It's located in downtown LA. It's very spacious, has lots of natural light, and this is Christina. And we do need a lot of natural light, like very soft early morning light. That would be best for modeling digitals. Currently I live in Los Angeles, and I feel like modeling standards here are a bit more flexible and diverse than in Europe or even New York. And I've spoken to a few models that actually signed with the agencies, and a couple of them are not exactly satisfied with how things go for them. I don't want to name those agencies, but they are pretty big in the industry and have a lot of models under their wing. That is why competition is very high, and even though you might be signed with an agency, it doesn't necessarily mean you will be working a lot. So, the plan for me this year is to get signed with an agency and see how it goes for me versus just me freelancing and finding my own projects. But I know that signing up with an agency is definitely not an easy process as well, so it will be an interesting journey.
don't see that every day.
Okay, I'm gonna just start by saying that this video is probably gonna be different from all the other parts of this video because this is my old phone that I'm using right now to record this video, because unfortunately my phone, iPhone 13, the camera doesn't work. I dropped it yesterday, and since yesterday it stopped working, and today in the Apple store the guy told me basically, I'm sorry, we can't fix it, you actually have to like change something inside, like it's like $200, so I'm gonna do that next week because everything works perfectly and I need my phone, so I'm gonna do it next week. Anyways, I'm sorry if the quality is not so good. What I'm trying to say here, I wanted to talk about my modeling journey a little bit, because this is actually the first time I'm getting professional modeling digitals, even though I've been modeling for a few years now. And let's roll back a little bit because I want to start from the teenager years when I was especially passionate about modeling. I wanted to do modeling so bad after I graduated, because during school I was busy with school, I was playing tennis, and I would say my parents were not exactly excited about the idea of me doing modeling, so that was also kind of like yeah. Anyways, so I remember that by 15, 16 years old, I was pretty tall for my age, and I was the tallest in my class, and I felt like, okay, good, I'm growing up, so I'm gonna be pretty tall by the time I'm gonna graduate high school, and you know, I can finally do it because I'm an adult now. I can decide for myself. Anyways, what happened? My height stopped. So I remember that I was pretty upset about it, and that's something that stopped me from doing modeling back then when I was like in my late teens, early 20s. But things changed when in the United States I was approached a few times by either photographers or people who had like clothing line or jewelry line, or just wanted to do like modeling videos. So I was asked to model quite a few times, and then I kind of started freelancing. I was referred a few times, and I started finding my you know, own castings, projects, and referred once again. Referrals are the best. So yeah, but people would ask me something like, why you're not signed up with an agency, because you know, you will have more exposure, you don't have to look for your own castings, agencies there to help you out with that. And I would always say something like, well, but I'm not exactly an agency kind of model. And people would be like, well, you're doing it anyways, so might as well try to sign up with any agency that you can, because you know, it could be good exposure, it's like higher clientele, it's, you know, it's definitely like, you know, you have nothing to lose, to just try. And I've been postponing that for, I would say, almost a year, because once again I would always think like, okay, it's a little too late for me because I'm not like, you know, in my early 20s anymore. So I've been postponing until my friend referred me to a company where I met the photographer, and she was like, girl, you gotta do it, and we basically decided to do modeling digitals for me, because I never had any. I was always booking things through my pictures that I had either on my Instagram, or once again referrals. And sometimes people would just ask me to send a video of me showing my face without makeup, my body in tank top and jeans, and you know, just turn around, and pretty much they were like, okay, good, let's do it. Pretty much, let's work together. And yeah, I decided to get my digitals, and that's, you know, I got them. And moving forward a little bit, I sent them to about 10 agencies so far, the ones that I know about, the ones that are like the most famous that you hear about. The ones are like these ones, yeah. And some of them didn't respond at all, and some of them just would say something like, let us send your digitals to our team and we'll get back to you. Some of them would come back to me and say something like, well, thank you for your pictures, we talked, we consider you, and I mean, we we looked at your pictures, but we think that you are not a perfect fit for our agency. We wish you luck. Or some others just wouldn't even, like, you know, get back to me. So, you know, it's okay. I'm okay, I'm doing fine. It's interesting, like, I would say that if I was younger, I think I would be more offended. I would be offended, I would be upset or even discouraged. But since I'm not a young girl anymore, and I feel like I was way more sensitive back then than now, I know that rejection doesn't make me feel less of a beautiful woman or less of a beautiful model. I just understand this industry is rough, and there is definitely, you know, like there is, you know, some standards that still exist, even though people say like, oh, nowadays there is such a wide variety of different models and different looks. It is true, yes, but I think mostly there is still a high demand for models that are like, you know, the classic features, like Gisele Bündchen, like Bella Hadid, Gigi Hadid, like classic, like Kate Moss. Actually, Kate Moss is not that tall. I think she's 5'7", if I'm not mistaken, but she has a very unique features. So, once again, I'm fine, even though there have been so far only rejection from agencies. I applied to only 10, and I'm planning on applying to some more. So we'll see where it takes me. I will keep you updated. If you're interested, I'll let you know. Today is so nice. It's the first day probably in California when it's so sunny, because this winter was pretty cold. It was very windy, and I haven't come by the pool for the last 3 months, and I really missed it. It's really nice over here. So what I want to talk to you about, I want to talk to you about the last few days of me submitting to different agencies. I think I submitted to like 18 more, like 15, 18 more different agencies. It's too early to, you know, for them to get back to me, because it usually takes about like 5 to 7 days. But 2 of them actually did, and one of them just asked me a few questions about my experience, which was very good, which is, I think, the first time the agency asked me a question of like, you know, if I'd done anything before. So they asked me my Instagram. And another agency, actually, they referred me to their daughter agency, because like I'm assuming there is like the mother agency and daughter agencies, different types. And they referred me to another agency, and they said that I could be a perfect fit for them. So I'm assuming it's like a rejection with like a little cherry on the top, basically. Like, we're not completely like rejecting you, but like we can offer you something a little different. So, I mean, it's not bad. I sent my digitals, they're over there. I mean, there as well. They're over there. Okay.
You get the idea.
So, yeah, so I'm just waiting for 5 to 7 days to see if I'm gonna get any response, because I did a pretty in-depth research on all of those agencies, and some of them I didn't submit because I didn't want to. I mean, it seemed like I find them not a perfect fit for me, so I didn't submit to those. So yeah, I will keep you updated once again. And at the moment, I'm trying to convince myself to go to the pool. The water is pretty cold, but it's nice outside, so I think I'm gonna do it. It's really, really, really good for your immune system. And I cannot not mention, this is my favorite bikini from Zimmerman. I really like red color, and I didn't have red bikini before, so this is something I got like a few months ago, and I actually just wear it first time today. So I'm gonna show off a little more. Wait for it.